Wide Open Outdoor Adventures with your host, Dave Altiera. We'll make you a better sportsman.
Subscribe to the Wide Open Sportsman YouTube channel today. On this episode of Wide Open Outdoor Adventures, it's more exploration of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. All right, race fans, we're here, Jackson Hole. We actually just flew into the Jackson Airport. We're going to look at the Teton Mountains, and this little map on the wall is of the Snake River. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to go to some hikes. We're going to do whitewater rafting. We're going to fly fish. We're going to do hot air balloons. We're going to do ATVs. It's all coming to you right now on Wide Open. All right. Seven miles, that's where we're going.
Have a good day.
Thank you. On this YouTube post of Wide Open Outdoor Adventures, we float the Snake River with the folks of Solitude Scenic Float Trips here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. All right, race fans, Dave Altiera with Wide Open Outdoor Adventures. We're going to float the Snake River right here in Wyoming. It's going to be about an hour and 45-minute kind of gentle ride. And we're going to use some XA20 cameras from Canon and film some beauty. Maybe even some wildlife, some moose or elk will be on the shore. They've been known to see 65-pound beaver. Tell you what, it's going to get good right now, wide open style in Wyoming. The Snake, as it's called, is 1,078 miles long. That makes it the 9th longest river in the continental United States.
Perfect view up Cascade Canyon right now too. I'm glad those clouds have lifted. So on a clearing day like this, you can see right up Cascade Canyon, which Jenny Lake is at the base of, if you folks got a chance to visit Jenny Lake.
This river is the longest tributary of the Columbia River. The majesty here is amazing. Snake River is a major river of the greater Pacific Northwest here in the United States. This place is truly wide open. Our guide today was Justin Evans, and as you'll see, he knows a lot about this awesome countryside.
So what we've been floating on this stretch of river out here is 10 miles on the Snake River that goes from Dead Man's Bar down to Moose Junction. It's my personal favorite stretch because it takes us right underneath what's called the Cathedral section of the Tetons. Now the Tetons is a relatively short mountain range, geologically speaking, only about 40 miles from north to south. It connects to Yellowstone on the north end, connects to Snake River Range down on the south end. And what we've been going under for this 10-mile stretch are the tallest, most prominent peaks out in front of us. Starting in the north, there's a peak called Tiwanaut. It's a Shoshone Indian word that means many pinnacles. The Shoshone Indian used to call the entire mountain range Tiwanaut for a couple hundred years before the name was rechanged in the 1820s by the French-Canadian fur trappers. The peak to the south, which is the second tallest peak, is Mount Owen. Mount Owen was named after the first successful climbing party to summit the Grand Teton in 1901, called the Owen Spalding Party. Now, needless to say, the most prominent one up there is the Grand Teton. That's the mother of them all out here. It's 13,770 feet. We're at about 6,300 feet right here on the water. Further to the south of that is the South Teton, the Middle Teton, I'm sorry, then the South Teton, and then Nez Perce after the Indian tribe. Beautiful mountain range. We call this area the Rocky Mountain West, but the Tetons are their own geological formation. They are not part of the Rocky Mountains. Youngest mountain range in North America. They estimate the Tetons are anywhere from about 6 to 10 million years old, caused by an active earthquake fault line called the Teton Fault Line, runs right along the base of the mountains. Series of violent earthquakes, sometime between 6 and 10 million years ago, pushed the mountains up so quickly, it gave no time for foothills to develop on the Wyoming side of the mountains. Thus, we have this flat glacial valley with steep 40 degree pitches straight up to the top of the mountains.
Over 274 bird species, some endangered or threatened, use the Snake River watershed. Justin, tell us a little bit about where you grew up and how did you end up guiding the snake?
Actually, a native Northeast guy. Grew up in Long Island, New York, in a little fishing town. Grew up saltwater fishing my whole life, and now go figure, I'm in perfect freshwater cutthroat trout fly fishing epicenter of, some would even say, the world, definitely of the lower 48. But I had a good buddy I grew up with. His dad was from the Oregon area, so I moved out to Mount Hood, Oregon for what I thought would be one ski season. Ended up never going home. Started getting into whitewater rafting out there, fell in love with it. And now, as I get a little bit older, don't get me wrong, spinning the boat around, flipping people over, getting people soaked is fun, but I really like doing this particular stretch of river. I get to do it 3 times a day. Great mountains, great company. We get some fantastic wildlife scenes out there. And I mean, if you look around, how can you get a better office for about 4 months a year? I just wish the season could go a little bit longer.
It was a great float trip here on the Snake River in Wyoming. I really didn't want it to end. Well, we floated the snake, boys and girls. It's whitewater rafting coming up next. Persh Motors, a family-owned Buick GMC dealer in Pleasanton, Texas. Come in and see the difference. Persh Motors, Buick GMC, Pleasanton, Texas. Visit WideOpenSportsman.com every day for your daily fix of adrenaline. Just get out there. You know, it's always wide open.